Hey y'all, thanks for checking out the Weekly Word. Usually we have a handful of announcements for you. This week we really just have one, and that has to do with some business that came out of Monday's session meeting. If you have been following along, you know that back in June, the session constituted a task force to help them discern when and how and to what extent we could faithfully and safely reopen the church building. That task force got together a couple of times, and they ultimately have made two recommendations thus far to the session. The session entertained those recommendations at their meeting on Monday evening. They prayed over them and wrestled with them and ultimately approved both of their recommendations. So I want to lay them out for you now. The first recommendation that your session approved is to allow for small group gatherings here at the church. We're defining a small group as up to 25 folks in the church building, up to 50 folks outside of the church building. So what does that allow us to do? Well, it allows for some Bible studies to resume, some book studies to resume. It allows for prayer group to resume, and probably some youth and children's activities over time to resume. It also paves the way for our preschool to begin the school year on time, which we know is important to not only the little ones entrusted to our care, but also to the parents and to the teachers. The second recommendation that your session approved is to open the sanctuary for prayer and meditation during the week. We're going to open the sanctuary from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, so you can come and spend time in quiet in that sacred space. It's going to look a little bit different. The hymnals, along with the Bibles, they will be removed, and some of the pews will be roped off so we can ensure social distancing, but we know how important that space is to so many people on their journey with Jesus Christ. So we're excited to open it up once again. Now, we're all used to, by this point, a bunch of rules and regulations that come along with opening up, and the church is really no different. If you come to a physical gathering here for a Bible study or a book study or a coffee circle gathering, you're going to have to answer a couple of questions about your health, and you're going to have your temperature taken and sign a liability form. You're going to have to ensure social distancing. That will be required, along with face masks. They will be required as well. We know that many of these are inconvenient, but what we believe is that the gift of fellowship and study and growth in our faith journey far outweighs the minor inconveniences that we have to go through to make sure we can gather safely. One word of caution though, if you are a part of a vulnerable population, we encourage you to continue to engage your faith journey virtually through all the resources that we are trying to continue to provide on and through our website. We want to make sure everybody stays safe even as we begin this first stage of reopening. I want to invite you to be in prayer for our task force, for our session. Particularly this week, I invite you to be in prayer for our worship ministry team as they continue to meet and discern how we can worship God faithfully and safely during the season. Lift in prayer the preschool staff, our director, Ashley Brown, along with the preschool board. They are having to handle a whole bunch of changes in their normal school year right now. Be also in prayer for the Morgan County school system, for all of the teachers and the administrators navigating the same hurdles. My prayer for you today is that you will sense the love of God that we know in God the Father, that you will sense the peace that we know in Jesus Christ, and that you will feel the fellowship of the Holy Spirit that is gifted to you and to our church community. May the love and the peace and the fellowship of God be with you this day and every day. We're sending you grace and peace, friends.